People are still paying hundreds of dollars for beginner AI programs, while Anthropic has quietly published an entire AI curriculum for free. 18 courses, more than 300 lessons, Claude Code, APIs, agents, MCP, production workflows, and one developer course alone contains more than 8 hours of training. Several courses include quizzes and certificates, and the price is zero. But free does not mean cheap, because the real price of this catalog is your time, and taking these courses in the wrong order can waste a lot of it. So I audited the catalog and reorganized it into three paths: the AI user, the AI builder, and the AI systems engineer. By the end of this video, you will know which courses to take now, which ones to delay, which ones you can safely skip, and the exact order that matches what you are trying to become. And one of the longest courses in the catalog is absolutely not where most developers should begin. Before looking at individual courses, we need a better way to judge them. For each course, I care about 6 things. How much time does it require? What must you already know? What can you actually do afterward? Who is it really for? Who should skip it? And does it belong in your path right now? The certificate is not the most important part. The real question is whether the course unlocks your next practical capability. That gives us the rule for the entire roadmap. Learn only what unlocks the next thing you need to build or do. Path 1 is for people who want to use AI effectively without becoming developers. And the smallest course may be the best place to begin. AI capabilities and limitations is roughly 15 minutes long. It explains in plain language what models do well, where they fail, and why confident answers can still be wrong. That may sound basic, but bad assumptions at the beginning create expensive mistakes later. Take it first if you are starting from absolute zero. Otherwise, treat it as optional orientation. Next is Claude 101. This is where Claude stops behaving like an isolated chat box and starts becoming a workspace. You learn features such as projects, artifacts, research, skills, and tool connections. But the important shift is continuity. Your files, goals, and recurring work can finally live inside one system instead of being restarted in a new conversation every time. The important question is not whether Claude has these features. It is whether they change how your work is organized. By the end, you should be able to manage ongoing work, create useful outputs inside Claude, and connect the system more closely to your real workflow. Start here for almost every non-technical learner. But knowing the interface does not automatically make you good at directing AI. That requires a different skill. AI fluency, framework and foundations is less about buttons and more about judgment. It introduces the 4D framework: delegation, description, discernment, diligence. In practical terms, what should AI handle? How should you describe the task? How do you evaluate the result? And what responsibility still belongs to you? Most people focus only on writing the prompt, but discernment and diligence are what stop a polished answer from becoming a bad decision. Take it immediately after Claude 101. Claude 101 teaches the tool. AI fluency teaches how to think while using it. The next capability is not better chatting. It is supervised execution. Introduction to Claude Cowork shows how Claude can work across real files and multi-step tasks while you remain responsible for reviewing and approving what happens. That last part matters. The goal is not to hand an agent the keys and hope for the best. The goal is to delegate while preserving control. Take it after Claude 101 and AI fluency. Then choose only one role-specific fluency course, the one matching your actual work. Teacher, student, nonprofit, small business, or builder. Pick one. If the label does not describe your real work, skip that course. The foundations overlap, so completing every role-specific version is not an efficient use of time. Your AI user path is AI capabilities and limitations, then Claude 101, then AI fluency, then Cowork, then one relevant role-specific course. At the beginning, you were asking a chatbot questions. By the end of this path, you are directing AI inside a repeatable workflow. But you are still using someone else's system. Path 2 is where you begin building. The AI Builder path begins with Claude Code 101. This course is for developers who want Claude working inside a real code base rather than generating disconnected snippets. It introduces a professional rhythm: explore, plan, code, review, commit. You also learn how Claude can inspect files, run commands, edit code, and follow project-specific conventions. One of the highest leverage ideas is the Claude MD file. Instead of repeating your architecture, standards, and preferences every session, you define them once and let the agent reuse them. Within Anthropic's catalog, this is the non-negotiable starting point for developers entering Claude Code. Claude Code 101 teaches the controls. Claude Code in action teaches the workflow. It moves from isolated commands towards shipping actual features across a repeatable development cycle. Think of 101 as learning how to operate the vehicle. Claude Code in action is driving it through a real project. The practical difference is reproducibility. A clever one-time prompt is not a workflow. A workflow is something you can trust again tomorrow. Take it immediately after Claude Code 101. The next two courses are short, but they solve two of the most expensive problems in agent workflows: repetition and context overload. First, introduction to agent skills. Skills let Claude load reusable instructions when a specific task requires them. That means less repetition and more consistent behavior across projects or teams. Then comes introduction to sub-agents. A sub-agent handles a specialized task in its own context, so the main session does not become overloaded. If you have ever watched a long agent session slowly lose focus, the problem may not be the model. The problem may be that too many jobs are competing inside one context. Skills preserve reusable knowledge, sub-agents preserve focus. Take skills first, then sub-agents. They are short, but they change how you structure serious agent work. You have now moved from asking AI for code to directing repeatable coding workflows. If this roadmap is saving you hours of course research, subscribe. Because the next path is where Claude stops being only a development assistant and becomes a component inside a complete AI system. The systems engineer path begins with Claude Platform 101. This is the bridge from using Claude to building software on top of it. The course moves through three layers. First, the model itself, choosing it and calling it. Then the behavior around it, context, tools, and the agent loop. Finally, the system layer, managed applications, built-in capabilities, and MCP-enabled integrations. Notice where this course appears in the roadmap, not at the beginning of the developer path. After you understand how Claude behaves inside practical workflows. Take Platform 101 before the full API bootcamp. It gives you the mental model needed for the deeper course. Next is building with the Claude API. This is the long course I warned you about at the beginning. It may be the most valuable course in the entire catalog and still be the wrong first move. More than 8 hours, dozens of lessons, multiple modules, and a serious time commitment. It covers the journey from initial API calls toward production applications with tool use, streaming, and evaluation. If your goal is simply to use Claude better, skip it. If you are experimenting casually, delay it. But if you intend to build real Claude-powered products, this is the core technical program. Take it only after Platform 101 and only when building is your actual goal. A model becomes far more useful when it can safely interact with external systems. That is where the Model Context Protocol or MCP enters. The introductory MCP course teaches the basic architecture and walks you toward building an MCP server that connects Claude to tools, files, APIs, or data sources. The model can already reason. The API lets you build around it. MCP lets that system reach outward. Then there is MCP Advanced Topics, which moves into more production-oriented capabilities. Take the introduction first, build something, then take the advanced course. Do not reverse that order. Without a working MCP server, advanced MCP knowledge is mostly vocabulary. There is also a substantial course focused on Claude with Amazon Bedrock. This is where the diagnostic framework matters. Ask one question. Does your company already build and deploy through AWS? If yes, this course may be extremely valuable. If no, it is not your priority. A course can be excellent and still be wrong for your path. Take it only when AWS is part of your real environment. Otherwise, skip it. Now reduce the entire catalog to 3 questions. Do you want to use AI more effectively in your own work? Choose the AI user path. Do you want Claude helping you write and ship software? Choose the AI builder path. Do you want to build applications that connect models, tools, data, agents, and production infrastructure? Choose the AI systems engineer path. But these are not permanent labels. They describe the next capability you are trying to build. Start with the path matching your immediate goal. Move forward only when your work demands the next layer. You do not need to finish all three paths before building something. You need only enough knowledge to unlock the next capability. Here is the complete map. The AI user path teaches you to understand Claude, direct it well, and supervise real work. The AI builder path turns that into repeatable software development workflows. The AI systems engineer path adds APIs, external tools, data connections, agents, and production infrastructure. The exact course order is now on screen. That is the difference between collecting courses and following a system. Anthropic has made a serious amount of AI education available for free. But the value is not in completing every course. The value is in taking the right course immediately before you need the capability it teaches. So remember, learn only what unlocks your next capability. Build before you specialize. Then turn those capabilities into a system, one layer at a time. I have organized the full catalog, course stats, prerequisites, skip rules, and all three paths into a one-page Anthropic Academy learning map. The link is in the description. Choose your path, begin the first course, and stop learning AI randomly.